This is to certify that Movie Chats has been classified for live streaming.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining me on another week of Movie Chats. Unfortunately, little Steve can't be with us this week because he's not feeling too well, so he's going to bow out. So I'm thinking it's going to be a quick stream, or if you want to join me, I have put the link in the chat, so please feel free to come up. Last week we were talking about a lot of the trailers that were dropping, and some of the hints and stuff like that for future trailers. And this week it's not been any different. We've had a few trailers dropping, as in the new Axel Foley film and stuff like that. So I was hoping to speak a little bit about them tonight, but like I say, I am by myself. So if you feel like coming on, the link is in the chat. Then please come and do so. Let's just say a few quick hellos. So Luke's in, Lynn, Lana. Yes, she did forget to do the thumbnail, but that might have been my fault for not reminding you to do one. And Pat, thank you for joining us, Pat. I guess what we could talk about is, as you notice throughout my pickup videos as of late, I've been picking a lot of Funko Pops up, and that is largely down to the online auction app Whatnot. So my question to you guys is, in your collection, what is making the main staple of your collection? Because like you say, you can see I've got a couple of Funkos and rock candies dotted about, and these are becoming more and more. But one thing I did get this week is the Marvel Diamond Select Old Man Logan. So I am trying to move into these, but I've been bitten by the Funko Pop bug quite a bit, and it is sort of making up a large part of the collection at the moment. So what makes up your large part of your collection? So let me know what you're thinking in there, and I've got a couple that I can show you later, and I'll go and get them if we get some guests on, we'll do a little bit of a show and tell. But for now, I'll show you what I mean. So there's me, Aaron, from Attack on Titan. There's Captain Levi from Attack on Titan, so they're new. I've got the red hood from Batman down here. So this one is new. I've got quite a lot of Funko sodas that I'm seeing to collecting, and I've got another two on the way to me from this week. Like I say, there's the Doc Ock, there's the Mystique one. I've got Vince McMahon there from the wrestling, and they've snuck in, and I don't know when that's happened. And it's not like I've got like Aliens or Star Trek ones. I've got a mix of different stuff. I've got a lot of G.I. Joes up there. I've got a new Tron and stuff like that. Where's the good, Steve? Yeah. Cheers. Cheers, Gareth. Hi, Jim Jam. Thanks for joining us. Let me put the link back in, see if we can get anyone to come on. So there's the link back into the chat. And like I say, it's just myself. So I did have quite a few bits to talk about, but like I say, little Steve can't make it tonight. So hopefully someone comes on and rescues me from me just yabbering on. Luke's put there that the new Beverly Hills Cop 4 looks amazing. Now, I'm a little bit skeptical about these sequels that happen 30, 40 years after the last film. Some of them have worked. Maverick has been a great example of that, and some of them bombed. For me, Bad Boys for Life, for example, that wasn't particularly great. Coming to America 2 wasn't great. However, the trailer made it look really, really funny. I'm also a little bit nervous about the new Ghostbusters. When you're speaking to people and you're listening to interviews and stuff, they're trying not to make this into another big franchise, but yet we're already on film number 2, and it's not like this cast is getting any younger. So the main Ghostbusters now will establish it as your little cameos and stuff, but then you could probably go on to films 5, 6, 7, 8 with these casts and stuff like that, because at the end of the day they're ghosts and stuff like that, aren't they? So you can always delve down into like the Incan goddess of whatever is bringing what their version back, or I don't know, like the Egyptians bringing some of their stuff back, and there is stuff out there, the mythology and stuff like that they could probably nip into for Ghostbusters, but it does leave me wondering where all the original films are, where all the original stories are, where they're not tying back into my generation's nostalgia for someone like Luke, for example, that we're just putting a title on it and putting out a film that's nothing to do with the original the original trilogy or the original movies or something like that. Again, let me know if that's just me being an old fuddy-duddy and trying to hold on to something great there. The good Steve's not well, Gareth. He's not well at all. He's sent me a message before the stream came on saying he can't make it. So get well soon, little Steve. And now's your time to work on those thumbnails, mate, and get your pre-records uploaded. So yeah, no slacking is probably the message for today. The link is in the chat, so please come. Feel free to come on. Yeah. As you can tell, I've been thrown a little bit by the short notice of him not coming on. Here's the question for you, right? Here's the question. Physical media. Okay. Have you slowed down in buying physical media? Are you cutting down your physical media? Are you trading it in and getting rid of it with the streaming sites now producing so much of the films there? Or are you just keeping them for keepsakes? Because that's another question I've got. And I cleared a lot of mine down this week, and I've still got a lot there. And I'm thinking about having another purge, making up some space, and like I say, going in for the bigger statues and stuff like that, like the Old Man Logan that I picked up the other day. I do like this. I like the details in them as well. You see, because there's Iron Man. You've got Captain America's shield there. So yeah, the details on them are really, really good. And like I say, I've had to stop myself from buying so much going forward. Sorry, 2 seconds. Yeah, let me get these Funkos and I'll show you what I've been talking about. So these are my latest 3 And this is something that has arrived on one of them that I didn't really know was a thing. It's a Funko hard stack display case. Now, this protects the Funko Pop and the box, but let me just take that sticky label off the front of them so you can see the pop itself. Here you go. So that's the Neutron. Now this is the Chase version of the Pop, and but like I say, I've really jumped into this, and unfortunately, it's caught me quite badly. That's a very shiny, sparkly background, Gareth.
Very camp, isn't it?
Are you trying to keep up with the LEDs, or is it just because it's Christmas?
The whole thing's falling down, so don't look too close.
Well, as you know, I'm not really a big Christmas person. I don't really enjoy Christmas, and to me, Christmas is a deckies go up Christmas Eve, come down Boxing Day type of guy.
Oh dear.
But today I've been dressed as Santa Claus for a children's charity, and that's how I spent my day in work. So yeah. How are you, mate? Long time no speak.
Yes, it has been a while, hasn't it?
How's
Normally,
the show's been going?
You're surrounded by people.
Longs?
Sorry?
How's the watch longs been going? I saw you were interviewing the other day as well. That looked quite interesting.
Which one?
The
Canon guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of good films in the Canon. Well, yeah, whatever. They produce so many, but then there's only a limited amount that's actually Canon films. But yeah, their name was everywhere in the 80s.
Yeah, that was like an interesting interview. I wouldn't mind getting into the interviews type of thing. The whole podcast thing for us has sort of slowed down a little bit as of late, and people are saying that they will come on and do them. It's just trying to find the time, isn't it?
Well, that is true.
You know, someone like you that streams practically every night for a couple of hours, and it's not really something I can do with other commitments, unfortunately. And
yeah,
trying to fit other people in.
Yeah, that's the worst. Trying to organize it.
Yeah, Queenie's put my pops arrived today. Yes, it is really addictive. And do you know what? Do you know when have you been on Whatnot?
I had a look, but it's dangerous, so I got off it.
So the thing with Whatnot is that because the postage is so cheap with your second and third items, you can't help but, you know what, I'm just going to spend another £6. I'm going to spend another £10 because the postage is only 30p. And before you realise it, you spent £50 on stuff that you're like, where am I going to put that when it comes? You know,
that's why I'm staying off it.
And we're now on first name terms with our DPD guy. He's just not trying. Yeah, I'll be back in a couple of hours. Well, if you've got them in the back of the van, why don't you just give me them now? Oh, I'm not scheduled to give you them yet.
It's ridiculous.
It is mad. It is bonkers. So the other day, he knocked four separate times. He knocked on the door to give us parcels, and they were all from Whatnot. There was either mine or Lana's. So
the whole family's involved in this activity now.
Sorry?
Is your whole family involved in this activity now?
Yes. Lana's addicted to the clothing because it's better than Vinted, and now like Poshmark's gone bust, and that's another online auction site. A lot of them moved over to Whatnot, and then they're selling the stuff there. So you're getting the clothes at Vinted prices, not eBay prices. But like I say, the postage is dead cheap. So you're just like, you might as well. You can't help but spend money. It's
exactly. Well, that's the trouble. Something like a VHS, which they're big and heavy, it costs more on postage than it does the actual item. Like £3 or £4 for postage on a £1 for VHS.
Yeah. But then on Whatnot, your first one will be £2.70, and then the next item will be 30p. So, like you say, your pound VHSs are costing you £1.30. You know, instead of 5-6 quid. But because it's online, you can't help it. When you've got a spare 5 seconds, you're jumping on to see who's on, who said, "Oh, okay, I'll have that," and off you go. You know.
Oh, you're turning into QVC now.
No, that's it. That's it. So, what have you got? What have you got coming up, mate? What have you got over the weekend?
Crap. Tonight I'm on Alucard's channel, although I'm streaming it to my channel as well. We're doing a difference in languages between Canadians, British, and Americans.
Ooh.
So yeah, I've no idea what I'm doing that one. Tomorrow we're watching Black Christmas 2019 as penance.
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation watch along on Sunday night. Van Helsing on Monday. I'm on Jay Harang's channel Tuesday. Lethal Weapon, which was postponed from yesterday, next Wednesday, and Bottom's Holy on the Thursday, whatever, the 21st.
So you have got a busy week. What does your family think about your streaming sort of schedule?
Don't even notice I'm not there.
No. Oh, there he goes. He's gone. There he is. He's gone back in the dining room again.
Pretty much. Yeah. Shh.
What's that? Oh my god, it's my second favorite YouTuber, Gareth. He's your first YouTuber.
You, I hope.
Yeah, it won't be me. He was fanboying over Rob from the Bounty Duo the other week. So
yes.
Yeah. No. So it doesn't sound like you've got a lot of your traditional Christmas movies in there. Have you avoided your Santa Claus the movies and
yes, I did those last
year. Yeah, Miracle on 34th Street and all that.
Well, I did Elf and what else? The other ones last year, so I thought I'd mix it with more winter-based ones this year, snowy ones. Like, although Lethal Weapon technically is in LA, but yeah.
Is there any snow in the first Lethal Weapon? I don't think there is. You could have done Die Hard 2. That was all in the snow, wasn't it?
I did Die Hard 1 and 2 last year, but I didn't do Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
I did do Christmas Vacation with AJ last year. We were supposed to have Spirited, but that's been postponed. Sing along, but I know you love musicals and all.
Oh, don't. Do you know, I still haven't seen Spirited. Chris, Carby Chris, Cookie and Hayden's, he loves it, and he's constantly playing the soundtrack and stuff like that. And I think he's watched it about 5 times already this year. And I just can't bring myself to watch it. Can't bring myself to watch it at all. What's Luke put here? Big Steve, you're my favourite and best YouTuber. Oh, thank you. And AJ's my third, but don't tell him that.
I'll take that. Let me screenshot that.
Yeah. No, so Spirited's not something, and I quite like it's Ryan Reynolds, isn't it?
Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell.
No, I quite like those two, but I don't know if I like those two together.
I can't remember. I've only watched it once, so I was supposed to watch it and learn the songs, but then we're not doing it now, so saved myself some time.
Jamie Hart says, "Don't do it, Gareth. I've heard you watch Black Christmas."
I don't know. Well, we did the original Black Christmas last year, so I thought, and I know how woke Mike is, so he's gonna be so positive all the way through it.
I don't know. So, what's your views on? Sorry, the cat's just opened the bedroom door and it's freezing. I've got my little plug-in heater. Got my little plug-in heater on, and she's opened the door. What's your views on stuff like Beverly Hills Cop 4 then? Because
I actually watched the trailer. I don't normally watch trailers, but I gave that one a go. And like you, I do think it does. If it's the same as the trailer, it should be good at least. It does seem to be following on from the first one more than anything. Yeah.
So you know my views obviously on these like 30-year-old sequels and stuff like that. And
yeah.
And unfortunately, 70% of them have been proven to be accurate, and you get the odd gem like your Maverick and whatever else.
I'm trying to think of another one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get your odd gem, don't you? So, Are you worried about the original ideas coming through for movies now? Because we haven't really had an original one. We were talking last week about I Know What You Did Last Summer making a return and stuff like that. For
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, what they do? Moana live action, less than 10
Mm.
years after the animated. They're doing The Strangers, a new trilogy on that. And those two films are less than 10 years old, and nothing sacred. But I don't. We're not going to probably watch any of those, but I'm trying to think of any that I do enjoy.
No, I get a free cinema ticket through the bank and whatever, one a month, and I don't even know how I earn it. I just get an email with a free ticket. But I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm like, I can't find anything to go and watch. I'm struggling to drag myself to the cinema, even though I've got a free ticket once a month.
Yes.
And I can't bear myself to sit there and watch the dross that's coming out at the moment.
Well, I think was it Aquaman 2 comes out next Friday with no fanfare.
But again, you look at the trailer, you're watching the trailer, and then you hear what the studio is saying. Oh, by the way, we've butchered it to get rid of this movie, so it's only half the runtime it's meant to be. And I'm like, have you just shown me the good bits of the trailer?
Yeah, because one side says it's a buddy cop thriller, but with the two brothers that hate each other.
Yeah,
so that sounds good, but if it's not executed like that, then it's going to be.
Well,
I'm not 100% fan of the first one, but
it's Arthur and Orm, isn't it? The Ocean Master and Aquaman, and then obviously you've got the return of Black Manta, who's who's the bad guy from the first film, ultimately the human bad guy from the first film. So there's no real new storyline in this, I don't think. It's just, but from what the studios have said, they've tried to cut it down because it's the last of the Snyderverse sort of era DC films, isn't it? So I don't. Yeah. Have you watched No, I haven't. I haven't watched Obliterated on Netflix yet.
No, don't know that one.
No, that keeps popping up as the new release. Did you watch the Squid Game challenge on Netflix?
I've not seen the Squid Game either.
Come on, Gareth.
I'm busy streaming every night.
Get with the times. Come on. I'll tell you what then. How about we live stream watching Squid Games?
How long is it?
We'll do the 10 episodes. We'll do it in a day. We'll pick a Saturday when we're both free.
A marathon.
And we can watch it, and we can do a reaction to Squid Games for you. But going back to the cinema though. Because we've got like Furiosa that's coming out, which is the Mad Max saga type thing. So they've done with Mad Max what they've done with Star Wars and stuff like that. Do you think we're in danger of giving bit part characters standalone movies because we've got nothing better to put on the television?
It does seem that way, doesn't it? Because I've not seen the trailer, but I've heard the complaints that CGI heavy, which is the same as what was the other one that came out? Everyone complained. Oh, Expendables 4, which was 90% CGI. So yeah,
that's just a cast of all 60, 70-year-olds now, aren't they? And, you're gonna see those strings on slide at some point. Yeah.
So what's it? Aquaman comes out next Friday, but I'm going to go and watch Die Hard instead. The original Die Hard probably is on that night, so that wins because that's the only one I haven't seen in the cinema. So that wins over a new film.
Okay, I was a bit disappointed a couple of months ago because they had Aliens on the big screen, and I wanted to go and see that at our local one. I thought, that'll be amazing. But unfortunately, I was busy that night, and and I've just been saying to you, I'm struggling to find something to drag me to the cinema. But then I'm relying on a film that's from the early 80s to drag me back to the cinema to say, let's go and watch that.
I'm trying to think. I haven't been to the cinema in about 6 months or more. There's just been nothing worth seeing because it's 2 months later I can watch it at home because it's
The
not going to
last
be good
one-
enough in the
The
first
last
place.
one, the last one I went to see was The Nun 2.
Ah,
And so that was more recent. But we went with Lana and her cousin to go and see that. And like I say, it's a free cinema ticket. So if they're going to go and watch it on Orange Wednesdays, I might as well go and Orange Wednesdays, 2 for 1, whatever it's called these days. Was it Meerkat Movies, isn't it? Now, Meerkat Movies.
oh, yeah.
So they're going to go and watch it on Meerkat Movies. Then I'll use my free ticket if I want to go because you'll normally go and get Pizza Hut, and then I can get the hot dogs when I go in as well. That's the only thing why I go to cinema now. It's the hot dogs.
Yeah, hot dogs and nachos is what I used to go for, but even they've gone downhill now.
Yeah,
And they're about £20.
hot dogs, crispy onions, and the firecracker sauce. But the only problem is with that, though, they're like £8 a hot dog now. So you spend more on a hot dog than you do on a ticket.
Exactly, it's ridiculous. A hot dog and a stale bun is probably costing them, 20p? Because they bulk buy them for millions, and then that's why I guess that's how they say they're staying open, but yeah, it's not worth it.
So I opened the conversation this evening with Funko Pops being or taking over the main staple for my collection. So I know that you're collecting VHSs. You're a bit of an old school collector. What do you find is taking sort of over your collection at the moment? Because the VHSs are becoming a bit hard to find now, aren't they? Or those VHSs.
Yeah, the ones I want. I'm getting harder and harder to find. So that's why the last 3 I got on the post. I got a box yesterday, a bag of yesterday of tapes, and there's out of the probably 30, there's only 3 I really wanted. So, but they were free, so it wasn't a problem. But yeah, I'm not really collecting it. Oh, I guess CDs I'm collecting now. Music soundtracks.
Okay.
Is the next thing, and books based on films. Hang on, I got one here. Oop, on the floor. So like I got an old Dirty Harry and stuff like that.
Do you know, I went through a stage of that. The only one I've got left now, well, I've got 2 actually. I say the only one I've got left. I've got 2. Is Judge Dredd from the Stallone movie, and Alien, the Alien book. So
I got some here. I got Aliens.
Right, okay. You've not got Alien.
No. Oh, I didn't even know I had this one. Paddington 2.
Paddington.
Never knew I had that. But I got a load of old ones. Independence Day, Iron Man 2, Supergirl, E.T., Closing Out as Men in Black, Air America, Piranha.
Well, I'll tell you what. Send me your address on Messenger, and I'll fire that over to you.
No. It's far too valuable.
No. You might as well have it, mate. If you're getting a collection, you might as well have it.
That's very kind of you.
Anyway, that means once I get rid of that, it means I've got more space for Funko collectibles.
Well, yes, they are a lot of space but they are light at least.
Yeah, but that's the size of a Funko. Yeah, so send me your address, mate, and I'll fire that over to you. So you're collecting movie books then? Are you collecting any particular type of movie book, or
usually it's ones after the films come out? So you got one like the Spider-Man 1 novelization of the film. Not usually, although it does happen sometimes. Where is it? The book before the film's made.
Not like Michael Crichton's original Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I'm not bothering with those because they're a different story. But the ones when you do the ones, let me try and grab one here. Just grab it. Yeah, so like if you get the Supergirl one, there's like extra stuff that was in the script that wasn't in the finished film or anything like that. Not that I've read any of these yet.
That was the problem I had when I started. When we moved into the house and I got the spare room, and it wasn't just the corner of the living room or wherever it was when we were in the flat beforehand. I went through I went through buying like Lord of the Rings and the Hobbits and every single Terry Pratchett that I
Oh,
found.
Christ.
And I have them all, you know, including the new stuff. The newer kiddie said the new stuff. He's not written anything for 20 odd years, but the newer kiddie stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I got all of them, and I was looking at my shelves, and I was like, it looks really, really good, but I picked one up and I've read a page of one of them. Don't get me wrong, I've read all the Terry Pratchetts beforehand, or I've had them on audio books or anything like that. So it's not like I've bought them and then not done anything with. Well, I have bought them and not done anything with them. That was the wrong sentence. It's not that I haven't read them before I've got them bought. But again, they look brilliant. They just don't do anything. And you're probably going to find that with the movie books as well, that you're going to have books and VHSs and stuff like that. And
yeah, I got 3 versions of the original Star Wars trilogy in books. They're all the same book.
Just different artwork on the front. Have you got the white ones?
Hang on.
There you go. Yeah. So I had the 3 in the white covers.
So I got 2 Empire Strikes Back because one is in better condition than the other. Trying to see, where are they? The original ones, yeah. So there's the original Star Wars. Oh no, that's Star Wars. That's Empire Strikes Back. That's Jedi, the old one.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was what's it called? From the event. No, that's Star Wars as well. So where's the other one? That's
a new
so this one is Splinter the Mind's Eye. This was going to be the sequel to A New Hope if Star Wars had been a failure. Then I got the re-releases in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Then a couple of Han Solo books, which are quite rare, I believe.
Yeah.
Force Awakens. This is more of a kiddies book, by the look of it. And then the Star Wars Omnibus of the first 3 films.
I tell you which Star Wars which series I really enjoyed reading, and again I went through and got them all, was Heir of the Empire. Now they were really, really good stories. They're what they call now the legacy, aren't they? The legends.
Yeah, I think I might have one somewhere.
And they all got decanonized when Disney took over. Now it's those stories that are slowly coming into shows like Endor and Mando and Obi-Wan. It's those stories that they're utilizing now to carry on the story, and they are really, really good stories. And it's a shame we never got the X-Wing movie that they were going to make, because the X-Wing series of books are absolutely brilliant, and it's following a squadron of X-Wings, and that's where the stories are going from.
Yeah,
it was a shame for them not to show us the Thorn series, like Aftermath and stuff like that from Ahsoka with Thorn. They're going a different way with that.
Okay.
But again, those stories are actually. I know you're collecting the movie side of it as well, but if you're getting into books and Star Wars and stuff like that, it's like the Star Trek. It's like the Star Trek books. You know, there's books there that they made into episodes, and then there's stories there that never got scripted or anything like that, and they ran with it, so it was just an idea. And some of them would have made brilliant episodes.
Not some Star Trek books, but only the film ones.
Jim Jam's asking, what have we been watching recently? To answer that question, I've been watching Arrow again from season 1 right the way through, because that's on ITVX, so I can get that completed. Because I didn't see the last 2 series of Arrow, because when they started when they started doing the crossovers, and then they had stuff like Black Lightning in there and Batgirl, and I'm like, well, what channel's Batgirl even showing on for me to watch the episode before the crossover to see what her storyline is and how she fits in this? Because that's what they started to do, wasn't it? in all the series, the 2 episodes before led into the crossover one. So when you've got bit part characters like Batgirl, who only had 2 seasons and each season was a different Batgirl, it was like, how does she fit into this? So I started watching Arrow again. And then on Channel 4 on demand, I've started the X-Files from the beginning again. So I've started like the way all their series are out on 4.
Yeah, I did that a few years ago. Complete X-Files. Yeah, I started Batman the animated series from the 90s. I've started watching that again.
That's on Netflix now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And Magnum PI from the 80s with Tom Selleck.
Yeah. There's a channel on ITV, and it's Blast from the Past. And it's got stuff like Joe 90 and Space 1999 and Thunderbirds and Stingray. So for like a Monday, it'll be a whole day of Thunderbirds. And then on Tuesday, it's a whole day of Stingray. And I was just like, oh, there we go. Next time I'm working from home, I'm going to bang that on and just blitz Blitz Joe 90 or whatever.
I'm far too young to know what you're on
about. One of the series I have been, because I've rewatched the 2004 Battlestar Galactica. I watched all of them. So I've been watching the 70s Battlestar.
Yes.
So that's the Blu-rays of that. So I've been DVDs. That's the DVDs.
So
of them.
The pilot episode came out in the cinema in the UK. It was so good.
Yeah. But I didn't realise that the pilot episode on this is technically 3 episodes. So it's episode. It's was it the Lost Paradise or something? Come over, and it's episodes 1, 2, and parts 1, 2, and 3. So I'm like, this is an extremely long pilot episode, and then when you realise what it was, it's like, aha, I've got you.
Yeah, I also originally I watched Battlestar. Galactica 1980 when they got the flying bikes on Earth.
Yeah, the second bit where they've reached Earth after 40 years or something. So
yeah, something ridiculous.
Yeah,
I don't think I could watch it again.
Hi, Max.
Hey.
No, it's all right, mate. You know, you're always welcome just to pop in and come and say hello. So yeah, I haven't been watching anything new at the moment. I did watch season 2 of Sweet Home because that was I really got into like the Korean series after watching Alice in Borderlands and Squid Games and stuff like that. So Sweet Home was the next one.
Right.
But I was really disappointed with season 2. It was like a completely different show compared to the first season. I've watched Leave the World Behind. No, I've seen that pop up, but I haven't got around to watching it yet. That's supposed to have really good views. What do you think, Max?
Doesn't ring a bell to me. What did I watch? The newest thing I watched recently is Dune Part 1.
Getting ready for Part 2.
Yeah, a bit early, but yeah. Godzilla vs. Kong I rewatched.
Yeah.
But it's mostly 70s stuff I've been watching, I think. Like The Choir Boys, Doctor Strange, the original 70s version. I did watch Far From Home again. It still holds up. Is it Far From Home or something? No Way Home, sorry.
No Way Home, the new one. The extended version of a 3-hour film is coming to Netflix.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So No Way Home is an extremely long but good film, but they've got an extended version of it.
Okay.
So let me waste the day watching that.
What else did I watch? The Happy Hooker Goes to Hollywood. Ernest Saves Christmas. Stuff like that.
I've gone proper old school.
Yeah, I can't see anything newer than those two. Gross Point Blank, Lethal Weapon, The Choir Boys, Star Trek 3, Gremlins, Dune, Doctor Strange, No Way Home, Scrooge, The Power, Muppet Christmas Carol, The Ref, Silent Night, Dead Night, Dead End, The Swiss Conspiracy Arcade, Christmas Vacation, Godzilla vs. Kong, America 3000, Jingle All the Way, Defense of the Realm, Fire the Navigator, The Ringer, Casino Royale, School of Rock, The Rocker, Sunburn, Exterminator 2, Exterminator 1, Ernest Saves Christmas, Car Trouble, Bailout, Batman Returns, and The Van, Back to School, US Marshals, Carry On Emmanuel, The Crash, Transformers 2, Captain Ron, Tomb Raider 1, Enemy of the State, and lots more.
So you've got 2 films in there that I want to pick out. Gross Point Blank, that's the one with John Cusack, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that film? Because I really enjoyed it when it first came out, and I rewatched that myself not so long ago. And I found, as much as I enjoy watching Minnie Driver on screen, I found she was really annoying. And I was hoping the fact they did kill her.
Yeah, I can see where you are. Yeah, I can see that. But I do like it, and I love the soundtrack, and but the rest of the film, yeah, because she was one of those that was all over the films in the late 90s and then disappeared. But yeah, I know I still like her, but yeah, I can see when he gets to the actual event.
The actual event itself, yeah, because he kills the Russian, and then he's got to get rid of his body and has to put him in the furnace and stuff like that. But what you're saying now about the soundtrack, they can get away with the soundtrack because he's going to the reunion, and I think that's why that works so well, is that it ties into the period of what he's going back to, because that's what she says, isn't she? Let's replay all these things, and that's how it works. Yeah. And I don't think that soundtrack's going to get dated like it would do if you just had like an 80s based film.
Yeah, it's a lot of reggae and ska and other stuff, and Queen and David Bowie's a complete mixture. But I just ordered it on CD so yesterday, even though I was listening to it on Spotify.
I do like the bit where they're in the house and the dad's there and whatever else, and he's in the bathroom and he's, I don't know if I fell in love. I've got a newfound respect for life. He shuts the door, and then you're hearing downstairs, don't you, Dan Aykroyd going, he must be in love, or he's found a newfound respect for life. He isn't repeated what he's just said upstairs, and whatever.
Really good to see Dan Aykroyd being an evil character for a change.
Yeah. And it's the little Filipino stalkers. the queen to the hotel hit.
Yes.
It's just stuff like that. It's just lines from that film that, and like I say, it sort of ties in perfectly to what it is. Guys, if you haven't seen Gross Point Blank, go and watch it, and we'll discuss it on next week's show. But watch it and then leave it a couple of days, then watch it back and see if you find her as annoying as I did the second time around.
But she's cute.
But she's also in films like Hard Rain and Sleepers and stuff like that. So Hard Rain, again, that's another good film. Christian Slater and Morgan Freeman. But to me, I could quite happily see her character drown. But she's really good. She's really good in Sleepers as well, and with Sleepers being a dark,
that helps,
sort of undertone film. I think that's where she sort of comes into her own there, because she can actually act in and not just be the pretty face on screen.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. She hasn't done much recently, has she? Or has she just been on TV and I've not seen it?
Hasn't she, Minnie Driver?
Yeah, maybe she's one of those that got sick of Hollywood. It's usually they're putting everything like what's his name from Terminator Genesis, played Kyle Reese in that one. He was in everything for a time, and then the guy that's from Avatar, he was in everything for a time. He was in
Sam
Clash of the Titans, Sam Worthington, Clash of the Titans, Terminator, Salvation, and everything they put him in. And then people got bored of him.
Yeah, so Terminator Salvation's just come onto Netflix now, and I was watching the trailer because you get like a 30-second trailer, don't you, as a quick tease, and I'm like, that makes it look a really good film.
I get disappointed every time I watch it as well.
Oh, well.
Not what I was promised.
Yeah. What's Max saying there? What are you saying, little? Who's he talking to there? But what was the other film I was going to? Star Trek 3. The Star Trek 3 is a Star Trek movie that gets better and better every time I watch that film, and I understand it a lot more now. And it's not like a throwaway film. And they had an article where they were trying to justify the odd number films. There's this thing in stigma about the odd number Star Trek movies not being as good as the even numbers. And somebody wrote an article about how good Star Trek 5 was. And it's just like, no, but it is a spaceship meeting God. That there's no need for the film. There's no at all. But William Shatner just sort of decided he was going to write and direct, and wanted to do everything all himself, didn't he? And screw everything else that came before it.
Although I did see it twice in the cinema when it came out.
What was it? Well, it was the Enterprise having something like 78 decks or something silly by the time it finished going up the shaft. Yeah, but there was but Star Trek 3, and the more that I watch it, the more I understand what it's trying to sort of do after bringing a franchise back after the big ending of what was Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
And how they can bring Spock back and
clever.
You're either in or you're out. And she's gone out. She's pushed the door open, had a look and see what I'm doing, and walked away again.
Still not interesting.
So out of the because it's like 20 something years since Nemesis, isn't it now?
Yeah, that was 2002, was it?
Yeah. So what was out of the Kirk and Picard era movies, and I know that you don't really like talking Star Trek, but we'll jump into this.
Better than Transformers, at least.
Well, we'll discuss that next. So out of the only 5 people don't like it. What are we missing here now?
Is it only 5 likes? People don't forget. Fucking free. Leave a like.
Okay. I'm like, well,
punctuation required.
Yeah. There was some conversation in the chat last week that I seem to have missed what was going on. So out of the Kirk and Picard series of movies, which one would you rate highest out of?
Well, I do like the even number ones. Well, I do like 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't mind 5. 6 is great. Generations, I'm not that fussed. First Contact, I like a lot. What's after that? Insurrection.
Yeah.
It's just more of a TV movie than a proper Star Trek film, that one. And then Nemesis, is it?
Then Nemesis, yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind Nemesis, but it's not a go-to one. It's one I watch every many years just to see what it was like.
The issue for Nemesis for me is that the whole Picard series has diminished Data's sort of sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because you see a lot of growth in Data throughout, like First Contact and through Insurrection. And I can understand your viewpoint on Insurrection being a TV movie, because the way that they did that with the whole Gilbert and Sullivan singing and the sonar and Riker just gets a joypad, and stuff like that. I can see where you're going with that. But then, yeah, you see a lot of growth from Data, and then for his sacrifice at the end of Nemesis, and then they've brought him back 3 times in
Yeah, it's at least 3 times, isn't
yeah, it's just like, oh, it's Data. Woo! Every time I like it's oh, it's Data. You're like,
Yeah.
no,
it?
and it surely there's some way that you can bring Brett Spiner back, and they've done that in Sung as well, haven't they? How many times have we got Noonie and Sung or different sings and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Surely you've got
before.
another character. Yeah, surely you've got another character that you can bring him back. And to the point where they've actually took like Noonie Singh as the person that's caused the Klingons to get the ridges on his forehead in Enterprise as well.
All right.
So there's the episode Trials and Tribulations, where it's like Trouble with Tribbles, but it's Trials and Tribulations. The DS9 episode.
Yeah, and they go back to the Enterprise
where they go
where
back
the
in
trouble
time.
is.
And then Worf, everyone's going, oh, look, the Klingons. And they're like, where? Worf go, oh, we don't talk about it. That's great. That's all you need to say. But then they expanded on that in the Enterprise episodes with the Klingons. So if you've not seen Enterprise, but Sung is doing a lot of testing and stuff like that, augment testing. And he's testing on some Klingon children, and they then become the Klingons that we know, and then he jumps back into animatronics. So the Enterprise sort of expand on that a little bit, but it's just a waste of a character for me, and it's a waste of an actor that you kill him off and you're bringing him back, but it's hard to bring him back now where he's actually aged.
Yes, that's the trouble, isn't it? He's 60, 70 something now.
Yeah. It's a shame that Ambron Jones has died, because you could have done that with Odo. He's a changeling. He can make himself fold up, and you can get on with that. But Data, you can't really do that with Data, unfortunately.
Didn't they try and say that he remodeled his face or something to make him look aging? So it just didn't work, though, did it? That was ridiculous.
So, Transformers.
I'll talk about Revenge of the Fallen.
I wouldn't do that to you. The Bayverse movies for me after the first one all went downhill.
I do enjoy the explosions and the transformations, but as soon as the humans are involved, like his parents and going to college, and totally didn't need it.
No. And the fall of Sam Witwicky as well is like, where did he disappear to?
Yeah, did they? I didn't even mention it. Did they just
throw
a line that he existed?
The last of the Witwickens. Well, he wasn't. Well, you've got a picture of Sam there with mad hair, but obviously Anthony Hopkins isn't the last of the Witwickens because Sam's still there. So that whole thing, and what's his name? Cogman, when he's doing the opera singing, when he's explaining it all, and you're like, no, just give us some good overarching music. It doesn't need to be a joke in the middle of that.
Yeah, I don't know if they were waiting he might come back or something, so they just waiting to see what he'd done, or if the character actor, because where are we up to now? Bumblebee was 80s, was it? And then Beasts was 90s before the 2007 Transformers, which then has 5 films to the last night, and that's probably it for now, isn't it?
Yeah. So there was a storyline, so they can have a look at B127, which was because it was hinted, wasn't it, that Bumblebee was part of World War II and he was helping fight that. But then Bumblebee retconned that because of the way that he came in. So they sort of got rid of that series. That would have been quite interesting to see. How they got around the Americans using Transformers as part of World War II.
Yes, I would like to see that.
Yeah, that would have been good because it would have been part of Nest, but then again, Nest was set up to in the later in the movies. I quite enjoyed the GI Joe sort of tie-in with Rise of the Beast. That's probably the only part.
Yeah, that
Of
was the ending, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Spoilers.
that was probably the only part of Rise of the Beast I actually enjoyed.
It was quite dull, that film.
Yeah, and how over the 100 years of us being on the planet, we never saw a 60-foot metal eagle flying across the jungles or whatever it was, and the big giant ape
Yeah,
in the
giant ape.
sky.
All these
Yeah,
things just existing for
hundreds
yeah.
of years. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it just ruined it for me. I was never a big fan of Beast Wars to start off with, and that just summed it up for me.
Oh dear.
But the new Transformers animated movie looks quite good. It's going to give us Cybertron for a change.
So the
And
films have been promising for 20 years.
yeah, yeah, and you threw 5 minutes of it at the front of Bumblebee. You know, at last you give me a wheeljack that I actually liked at Bumblebee, and then you give me that piece of crap bloody camper van thing in Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
ruined it again.
the public keeps saying more Transformers, less humans. And they're
Yeah.
saying more humans, I heard. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, the human element of Rise of the Beasts, they could have just got killed off. You know.
You bigot.
Yeah, yeah. I'm racist against my own kind here. Homo sapienist. Yeah, wipe them out. You know.
Because yeah, they've been well. What did we get in when Wahlberg took over? The Romeo and Juliet laws was brought in as entertainment.
So why's that been brought in?
It was like a major plot point.
Yeah. All right, we understand now. You're old enough to play people's dads, but there you go.
Yeah, it's just like stops the film in its tracks when he brings out this laminated card as well. Just prepared for the chat.
Yeah, I'm ready for you, Dad. There you go.
I've been nailing your daughter since she's 16 or whatever it was. It's all legal.
Oh God, I don't know. So with those in mind, and obviously the talk of the reboot of the Terminator franchise, and you've probably seen the same movie posters as me with Henry Cavill being the Terminator, but then again, I've also seen him as Duncan MacLeod and sorry, Connor MacLeod.
Well.
Yeah, I've seen him as Warhammer, the Emperor,
yes.
the God Emperor in Warhammer, but I've also seen him as Eisenhorn in Warhammer.
If only they could clone him.
Where would you see the next sort of soft boot franchise come from then?
Oof, what is there? Is there any left they haven't done? Come on, we got the Batman 2 coming out in 2 years, haven't we? So
Well,
is there another Batman?
To watch that because the Batman was awful. Don't pull that face. You know I'm right. Oh, where's he gone now? There you go.
My Batman.
It's awful. It's awful.
You and AJ can do one.
They fell short of making every scene great. They really did. You know, I've said this time and time again. Do you remember the club scene in Blade? Where you got operate boom, 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 you know, and he goes in and he kicks crap out of all the vampires and everything else. And it looked amazing. And when Batman walked into the club to go and see Oswald Copperpot for the first time, and he bumps into the twins, right? And we all know the twins were a big part of Penguin's sort of entourage throughout all the cartoons and everything else. And they would give him a fight. The next thing you know, he headbutts one of them. and punches and that's the end of the fight. And you're like, right, okay, so where's the rest of the goons? And
They were soft scousers.
Yeah, next thing you know, someone pulls, I think they pull a shotgun on them or something, don't they, right? And then Oswald comes out and stops the fight. Give us the blade scene. You know, you just kick.
Well, maybe they'll take it under advisement for you.
Yeah, you just kick the crap out of 15 emo kids on the train station platform. Why, give us the blade scene in the nightclub with the actual bad guys, not kids. And then the car chase scene again. We've seen it in the trailer, but the build up to that explosion where you see him jumping over the top, and that's the end of the scene. So you're like, right, okay, so you've shown me that in the trailer. The only thing I didn't see is what's caused the explosion.
That's why I don't watch trailers.
Yeah. now I know that it was your reckless driving that's caused all the cars to crash. That's caused.
There's a few people that were burnt up in that, yes.
Yeah. And then you get to the final point where he captures the Riddler and everything else. He puts them in prison. You get introduced to this arena, this universe's Joker in the prison, and then you've got half an hour of dross after that. That there was no.
It didn't need the tagged on ending. I will agree with that.
It didn't need that, but every scene up to that, I quite like the detective bit. Where you're actually seeing him work stuff out, with like the saw traps and all that, like where you're working out the mice traps and stuff. That was quite good because we didn't get that in any of the other Batman films. It's just, oh, I know, I'm going to speak to Bat Computer and he's going to tell me that Joker's in now. Woo, off we go. Oh, exactly. Harvey's actually Two-Face. Oh, thank you, computer. But it was good to see him work that out. But other than that, they fell short of every scene. Yeah.
Anyway.
I think I came out the cinema saying Batman. It was more like Bore Man. Yeah, I was bored.
You just don't understand story or message.
No, it's not. And it's not that there wasn't any explosions. There wasn't any fighting. There wasn't. Because there was. It was just... I think the payoff didn't justify the build-up. There was 20 minutes of build-up for something to happen, and then when it happened, it was like, is that it? And then you've got another 20 minutes then of really good build-up, and it was like, oh, okay, is that it?
You wanted a big blue beam from the sky to stop, did you?
Yeah. I
Stop Cybertron coming in.
I must have come out of that cinema knowing what it was like to being married to little Steve,
I thought you were married to him, the way you two get on.
Lots of build-up and a very disappointing ending.
If it helps, I can eat my dinner here so you can make it look like he's still here.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I'm missing the sound of scraping plates. Yeah, I don't know. But a lot of the cinema for me in the last decade has been like that. That's been the problem.
I think Marvel Doctor Strange 2 was the one I came out of disappointed. That's the last time I saw that Marvel film in the cinema.
No, what was the last Marvel film? I went to see Ant-Man Quantumania in the cinema.
Yeah, I missed that one.
I went to see that one, and I haven't bothered watching the Marvels because when you... Sorry, guys, just chat, don't start. All right. End of, done. I don't mind you commenting and joining in the conversations, but please don't start. Yeah, so the Quantumania, and the thing for me with Marvel with Kang is that Kang is supposed to be the big bad for the next 2-3 phases, like Thanos was for phase 1 and 4. But every time we've seen him, he's got his ass kicked. So And then there's that tagline, oh, wait until you see my next variant. Well, Kang the Conqueror was supposed to be the be-all and end-all, and Ant-Man kicked his ass.
Yeah, or Ants.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
It was
and I was
Ants.
like, right, okay.
Loki did, or Loki's version did, kill him in the. And then who's the other one that did it? I can't remember now. But he says he's killed so many Avengers, he doesn't even know who they are anymore, and then
Yeah,
he's just taken out like a bitch.
yeah. Well, that's it. Oh, Thor wasn't a big. Billy Ray, the Bull version of Thor. He was one of the ones that he's killed. Captain Iron Man, but it wasn't our Iron Man. It was meant to be Tom Cruise's Iron Man, wasn't it? That was
Okay.
meant to be in Doctor Strange. He was another
Yeah.
one. And when you watch that, you see trophies in the room, and you're like, right, okay, he's a tough guy, this guy. And yeah, Ant-Man kicked his ass, and all of a sudden Loki's kicking his ass, and you're like, right, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You've just ruined whatever build-up you're trying to get. And I don't think Disney know which route they're taking that franchise at the moment.
Yeah, because they can't use the actor anymore until he's cleared in a few years.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that is the case where they can't use him or not, because this goes down the route of, do we stop everybody that's accused of something from being on telly?
The two of us wouldn't be on YouTube at this rate.
Yeah, you know, and stuff like that. If it is proven, that things have happened, then by all means, then yeah.
But wait till it is proven.
But look at Johnny Depp.
Yeah, let's do the ringer.
Yeah, look at Johnny Depp. That's what goes on there. You know, they're ruining someone's career for him to go on. And you know, Russell Brand's another one going through it at the moment, isn't he? You know, and that's gone all quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's like 2 days of news, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's gone all quiet. So, well, he's been stripped off everything, hasn't he? He's off all the TV, he's off YouTube, he's off everything, and stopping him from producing any sort of money in any shape or form. And you know, but don't get me wrong. If these people have done stuff, then they do deserve to be punished. But in the moment, it's just allegations, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
just a lot of people.
Yeah.
At the same time, which is weird.
Yeah, I got. Oh, have you been watching the Traitors on the other channel? Have you, Max? Chris and Z have gone live on Chris's channel to do the podcast. It was the only night that Z was available to do Chris's podcast with him. So I will be going back to what I did start watching it. He was late starting, unfortunately, so I was hoping to catch the first 15 minutes before I went live. But he went live just as we were going live, so I think I caught the first 2 or 3 minutes of it. So yeah, I'll give him a watch later. So yeah, I'm just trying to avoid major spoilers and major trailers for the films that I want to watch, because I am finding I'm being really led down the garden path with them at the moment, and they're not as great as the trailer is making out to be. So,
yeah, there's only a very few trailers I'll watch. I do watch Marvel ones occasionally because I know how fake they are.
So did you go back and watch any of when you buy a Blu-ray, for example, or a DVD? Do you watch the trailers back for the films that you've got on VHS? Because I find that is that when I'm watching the trailers back from like Avatar or something like that, or Gladiator or Braveheart or something like that I had on VHS, then the films look really, really cool. You know, and then they're not really that particularly great in the way of films. The trailers for like Escape from New York and Escape from LA, for example,
Yes.
they look really cool. But then you watch it
Escape
and you're
from
like,
New York is cool.
yeah, and then you watch it and you're like, oh, what's going on here?
Well, if you look at the poster for Escape from New York, it's a complete lie where he's running down the road holding up the president, and the Statue of Liberty's head is in in the middle of the road, and there's gangs chasing him. The whole thing's a lie, but yeah. Trailers. The old trailers, they only showed like the first half of the film at the most, whereas now trailers will show you the ending of the film and everything else that happens, so you know exactly what's going to happen in the whole film.
Yeah,
I do think the old ones were halfway through.
yeah. I am sort of struggling at the moment, and it goes back to this point. I'm struggling to find something to watch in the cinema, and I'm struggling to find any of the trailers that are taking me interested because there's no original films out there. I think The Grey Man on Amazon and the Tomorrow War or the War?
Okay. Oh yeah, they were.
That was quite good. The Chris Pratt one.
Aren't they like a year old now?
Sorry.
Aren't those to a year old now?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. The streaming site films are a lot better than the Hollywood cinematic releases.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
That
and
is true. They are entertaining.
I think the Tomorrow War is something that is an example of something where if you've actually spent the time to write a half decent story and then put the time in for the CGI, it will work.
Yeah.
You know? But they're now talking about a sequel to that film, and I'm like, how are you going to give me a sequel to the Tomorrow War? Because you've already explained how the aliens have come about. You've explained where they were found, and by the way, you went back and killed the Queen. So how is that? How's that coming in? You know, into a sequel?
Yeah, because I thought it was a one and done by the way, as I remember it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they always find a way to successful stuff, don't they? But next year is going to be even drier because of the strikes and writers and actors not making anything for the last 6 months.
But I tell you what, I did see a sequel to, and I know it was a fake movie poster, and you've probably seen it as well. Demolition Man, right? How are you giving me a sequel to Demolition Man with Sly Stallone and Wesley Snipes when you blew up Phoenix at the end of the first film?
Did you see him die? When his head came off. But he was frozen, so they could put him back together, I guess.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how you do it.
Some things they should just leave alone.
You'd use the three seashells to bring them back. You know, it's not they're not just there to wipe your ass. They can do all sorts of magical stuff.
Like Star Trek transporters, where they keep a copy of you just in case.
Yeah, bring him back. Yeah, your DNA. They've cloned him when he was frozen. You know.
Well, in the good old days of the 80s, they just brought the brother, the twin brother would come back. Turn his gold and stuff.
Oh God. I don't know what's going on.
But yeah, it's going to be very quiet, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the world of movies and stuff like that. And I have the same problem with physical media, right? Because instead of giving me a new release of a film, they're giving me of a film that we've not already got a release of. They're giving me 15 releases of the same film.
That is true. Yeah.
You know, and this is where I take the mick out of Little Steve, because you know me and Little Steve's 20 versions of Dirty Dancing, because there's he's got every anniversary version of the film going out there, because it's got like 2 seconds of extra footage of Pretty Green Eyes or whatever it was,
Two
or
frames.
yeah, two frames of a swinging a skirt and the like, yeah. But give me a release to films that I haven't already got. You
Yeah.
know, and the cinemas are doing this now. They're not coming up with anything original. Hollywood's not coming up with anything original, and it's just like, what can we bang the Bad Boys title on, or what can we bang Ghostbusters on, or what can we bang, you know,
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm
you know, Gross Point Blank. Give us a sequel to Gross Point Blank now, 20, 30 years after the
well,
original.
technically there already is one.
Mm.
There was a film we made a few years later about a hitman and an arms dealer, but it was supposed to be the same character, but it was never confirmed. But
Yeah.
it wasn't a very good film either. But because I'm looking at all these charts from the VHS era,
Yeah.
like 1984, the top 50, there's about 10 or 12 films that I don't think even made it to DVD, not alone Blu-ray. So
No.
where are the rights to these things? Same with the Canon films. Half of those we looked at the other day aren't on DVD or Blu-ray.
No.
They got theatrical releases and VHS releases back in the day.
Well, I'm looking at Arrow, for example. You're talking Canon, and if you've got like Arrow, sorry to break my train of thought here. Chat, stop. All right. If you're going to turn it into a playground, I'd rather you not watch. I have avoided all your political bullshit when it all started. It all got put to bed. Don't bring it back up. Right. So I prefer it if you didn't watch, if you were just going to come into the chat and start kicking off. Yeah, so Arrow releases, right? So I've got Rollerball, the original release of Rollerball up there, because I couldn't find it on original Blu-ray or original DVD. And then I'm turning around and Little Steve's had a face. So good evening. Thank you for coming on, buddy. So I had to buy the Arrow release because the DVD release was out of print, and you can't buy it for the love of the money. But then I'm looking at all the obscure films that they've got on their catalogue release, and that's what I'm sort of after. But I'm not paying the money for Arrow.
Yeah,
you know. So give me the obscure films that we've not got, that these these studios have got.
Yeah.
But at a reasonable price.
Yeah, they could easily knock them out for less than a tenner, just a vanilla disc with the film, HD done.
Yeah. Luke's asking, what did everyone think about the trailer for GTA 6? I'm not a big GTA fan. I wasn't a big Red Dead Redemption fan because it was too much like GTA. Skyrim, how do I sum up my Skyrim? When I looked at my account and it said that I've been playing that game for over 120 hours and I was only 6% into 6% complete. But yeah, I've got a great character with all the best armor who can be fishing for hours on end. And, I must have done all the side missions in Skyrim instead of actually playing the main storyline. And that's where I fall into those traps like Red Dead and GTA. And I'm just like, I'm doing the bits that I'm supposed to be going doing, but I'm not progressing in the story anyway.
Yeah. I play GTA 5 a lot. They only did the online. I've only done about like 6% of the story because I got bored. I just want to drive fast things, blow shit up, and kill other people. But so yeah, so I only have 10 15 minutes of playtime.
Yeah, I'm just, it's bad. But then I can play games like Halo or something like that where the campaign's only like 8 hours long.
Yeah.
And I love it, because it's just dead straightforward. Everything's just all there in front of you. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon because there's been a lot of throwback and pushback because we're back to a female lead in the game, and I'm like, it's a computer game.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not the first time we've had a female lead in that game series. So why are we kicking off?
Yeah.
You know, it just makes no sense. My next big video is on Monday, and I'm going bowling. Oh, okay. I like bowling. I'm good for the first couple of games, and then because I'm old and my shoulder starts going, then it starts just getting to the point
I'm
where
always better the first game.
Yeah,
but it's so extortionate as well.
No, but yeah, it's all good fun.
Used to go bowling and watch a film, have some snacks. It cost you a tenner, and now
that's it. A tenner and a night out. Yeah. our bowling up by us used to do drinks deals. Our bowling by us used to do drinks deals, and it was like 8 bottles of Sol for like a £5 or something. It was like that's what you got. Yeah. Right. Are you going, guy? Have you been called?
Yep, I'm done.
Right. Okay. Evening. You all right?
Very well. Hi. That's Big Steve.
How you doing?
You know why they call him Big Steve?
Because I'm fat. Does your dad make you watch all old films?
I do. He doesn't. Well, I put them on and he plays his Switch.
Right. Well, if you're going, mate, I'll call an end to the stream there, and it's been great to talk to you, and we'll see you soon. Chat, lovely to spend some time with you this evening. I apologise that little Steve's not well. I hope he's getting better soon, and he'll be back with us. Please keep your eye out for our pre-recorded content. If you haven't already, I've put about 3 videos out since last week on movie chats, and there will be one going out on Life in the First Lane as well. So, as always, matey, it was a pleasure to speak to you, and we'll see you soon.
Good night. See you later, everyone.